From the 1011 Now Alert Center, this is Morning Pulse.
Good morning. This is Craig Allison with your Morning Pulse live here this Monday morning, January 12th. Before we get into our headlines this morning, the question of the day was, a new study reveals more and more men are taking up this hobby. What is it? Answer was sewing. One of our viewers actually got that right this morning. And if you want to participate in our question of the day every morning, it's happening on 1011 this morning. We read off some viewer guesses during the show. All you got to do is put your guess into the 1011 Facebook page, and we'll reveal the answer at the end of our show. That being said, let's get into our headlines, starting things off on the international side this morning. President Trump says he's been weighing the possibility of military strikes and other options against Iran days after he warned that the U.S. would, quote, get involved if Iran killed anti-government protesters. U.S. activists say more than 500 protesters have been killed in the violence surrounding the demonstrations. This as two people were injured when the driver of a moving truck allegedly drove into a large crowd of demonstrators during an anti-Iranian regime protest in the Westwood neighborhood of Los Angeles yesterday afternoon. There's footage of that right there. The rally was scheduled outside of the Wilshire Federal Building, where thousands of people gathered to show solidarity with the ongoing protests in Iran, which have resulted in more than 500 deaths, as we just said, and violence surrounding those demonstrations. Second story, and bringing things back to the local headlines. Legislature is gearing up for a crucial hearing against Amherst Senator Dan McEwen in what could be a first for state history. We've been following the story every step for several months now. It all started when McEwen was accused of inappropriate touching of a woman at a party at the end of last year's legislative session. Since then, he's been cited for misdemeanor disturbing the peace, to which he pled not guilty. Just last week, a letter shined light on an alleged pattern of behavior from McEwen, saying he has made inappropriate jokes at a female staffer and used unprofessional language regarding people of other races. This morning at 9 a.m., state lawmakers will gather for a hearing on McEwen's potential expulsion. This after the unicameral voted overwhelmingly to expedite the hearing. If passed through, McEwen would be the first ever expulsion for the state legislature. We'll have all of the details on today's hearing on our 1011 Now app and over on Roku, so be sure to stick with us as this story develops. Your third story, one adult and 3 children are needing somewhere else to stay after a house fire yesterday afternoon. Lincoln Fire and Rescue says the fire came from a cooking incident. Home is located near North 71st Street and Fairfax Avenue. LFR says people had been cooking something earlier on the stove where the fire started, eventually burning through cabinets, into the walls, then the attic. Nobody was home when the fire started spreading. Neighbors were the ones to make that phone call. LFR says there's $80,000 in damage to the home and $25,000 in damage to everything else, for a total of more than $100,000 in damage. Red Cross has been contacted to help relocate that family. Your fourth story this morning, and in our crime tracker, we're still following more developments on this one. Nebraska wrestler AJ Ferrari was arrested Friday night shortly after the Big Red's duel with Purdue. The Nebraska State Patrol says the reason for his arrest was an outstanding warrant from Texas. NSP says just after 11 p.m., Ferrari was driving a pickup speeding at 90 miles per hour near Waverly. During the stop, the trooper found he had an extradition warrant in Collin County, Texas. What we don't know yet is what that warrant is for, but we have reached out for more details. Ferrari transferred to Nebraska in June from Cal State Bakersfield and is currently 5-1 on the mats for the Big Red. Husker Athletics sending out a statement saying in part, quote, the Nebraska Athletic Department is aware of the arrest of AJ Ferrari on Friday night related to an outstanding warrant in Texas. We are awaiting more information from legal authorities involved and have no additional comment at this time, end quote. So with that being said, be sure to stick with us at 1011 as we work to learn more details about this developing story. And switching gears to sad news this morning from Husker Athletics. Husker Hall of Famer and Nebraska men's gymnastics assistant coach Jim Hartung, has passed away at the age of 65. Hartung has been an assistant the past 19 seasons, and during his college career, Hartung won 22 All-American plus 7 NCAA individual titles. Hartung was beloved in the gymnastics world and famously known for leading the U.S. gymnastics team to their only gold medal in the 1984 Olympics. And finally, wrapping things up with your final story this morning, a handful of kids here in Lincoln spent yesterday afternoon at the free throw line for the beginning of a competition that ends all the way in the Windy City. For 5 decades, the Elks Hoop Shoot has taken place in gyms nationwide. Here in the capital city yesterday, it happened at City Impact. Competition sees kids ages 8 through 13 face off by shooting free throws, each kid getting 25 attempts, and the winner advancing to the regional competition in Fall City on January 25th. This competition continues to Colorado for winners and eventually to the Nationals in Chicago, where winners there will get their name in the Basketball Hall of Fame.
It's been in existence for 54 years now, and it's a chance for kids at any skill level to come and compete against each other. You don't have to be good at basketball. It's just the free throw contest itself. So that enables all kids at all levels of competency to compete.
The Elks National Foundation exists with the purpose of giving back to their communities, largely done through scholarship money the foundation gives out to aspiring students across the country each year. That's going to be your Morning Pulse for this Monday morning, and we'll wrap things up with a quick look at your 7-day forecast before throwing things over to Brandon Rector.
Good Monday morning. Meteorologist Brandon Rector with you in the 1011 Severe Weather Center. It is going to be mostly sunny to partly cloudy for today with our winds out of the northwest, west, and southwest at 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight will be mostly clear to partly cloudy. Temperatures at noon already warming up into the upper 40s to mid 50s. By 4, we are in the low 50s to low 60s. It is going to be a mild day with temperatures well above average for this time of the year. By 8 this evening, we're still looking to be in the upper 30s to mid 40s. In Lincoln for today, warming up from the 20s early this morning into the upper 50s this afternoon. That's over 20 degrees above average for this time of the year.
From the 1011 Now Alert Center, this is Morning Pulse.